So a little bit about me, since I'm just up here yelling orders at you. My name is Laura Dixon. I am in no position to yell orders at people. I'm a comedian, podcaster, actress, sometimes model, and mostly a disappointment to my mother. Yay! Yay! Oh, who said yay? Yay! You do? Good. You know what it feels like. It's not her fault, though. I gotta cut her a little slack, right? She's just a very academic woman. She is a literal musical genius. She's got her master's degree. She's just that type of person. And so when her kid decided to make being the class clown a career choice, she had questions. Yeah, well. A few years ago, she wanted me to start getting some direction in my life, right? I was 28, and I spent most of my 20s just walking around bumping into things, as long as we're being honest. And so she started asking me, she was like, why don't you go get a master's degree? I have one, your dad has one, your sister-in-law has one, like, just go get it. Thank you. Who said yeah, right? You and me, we're gonna be friends after this show. Yeah, I love that she thinks that master's degrees are just available on every street corner. They're at CVS, on sale, next to the plutonium, right? Yeah. But then I had to remind her, I was like, Mom, I have a bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising with a minor in film and media studies, emphasis in tokenatrypha. And I cannot express to you how much you don't need a master's degree in any one of those things. I don't know how one gets a master's degree in smoking weed while sewing and watching movies, but it's not going to be me. And then a year ago, it turned into, why aren't you a flight attendant? No explanation, no context, just why aren't you a flight attendant? Not, do you want to go be a flight attendant? Not, do you still need to call your therapist and have 3 glasses of wine before you get on a plane? Just why aren't you a flight attendant? Very strange. And then about a week ago, she shows up at my door. I need to clarify, I grew up in Somerville. My mom lives in Somerville, 4 minutes away from me. And one of the hazards of living in your hometown is that sometimes your parents just show up. So she shows up and she knocks at my door. Hi, I brought you tomatoes from my garden. Why aren't you TikTok famous? So the bar for me in my life has gone from master's degree to TikTok famous. That's where we are. And for some reason, I am now competing with 16-year-olds on the internet for my mother's approval. It's very confusing. Life's weird, right? But, I do have to remind her sometimes, I do have a real job. I have a regular day job. I have a real adult job, right? I contribute to society. I manage a party boat. Yeah. I mean, come on. Who else is going to hang out on a boat with and drink with people? The White Claws aren't going to drink themselves, Mom. Come on, man. Yeah. See some weird things working on a party boat, as you can imagine. There's always the standard, bachelor, bachelorette party. We get it. You think you're in Magic Mike. There's always some girl who's flashing DNR when they come by. That's fine, because if we have a violation, that keeps them off our back for, another 2 weeks until the next girl has to flash them, which, cross your fingers, hopefully she does. But there are some things that you hear that just, stick with you. They just bother you after a while. Recently, I heard a girl talking to a guy, and he offered her a breath mint, which is a normal thing. And she was like, oh, sure. She reaches for it, and she goes, wait a second. Is this acid? I'm sorry. What is going on with you? That's just standard operating procedure. Reaching for a breath mint and asking if it's acid. And be less concerned if she hadn't asked like June Cleaver. It wasn't like wait a second, is this acid? Hold on, let me just double check. That would make sense to me, right? But she reached for it and she goes, is this acid? Oh, you boys and your acid. Always trying to trick me. Now come inside. I've made a pot roast and a gelatin salad. Just sit on down. Very strange. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit of a whack job. I mean, look at me, for God's sake. And I'm also one of those annoying people outside of being a little bit of a whack job that I have a gluten allergy. And I know that sounds like bullshit to 90% of the people in this room. I'm aware of that, right? It sounds like I am a mom from Mount Pleasant and I am allergic. I am lying about my child being allergic to soy and eggs and poverty. But it's a real thing. And I have to remind people, I'm like, look, my favorite things in life are pizza and pasta and beer. I did not sign up for this. I would never voluntarily remove the joy from my life, right? I would never say like, don't want all the best things anymore. Makes no sense. Pandemic is, I guess we're getting the third version of it now. Pandemic 3.0, I think is where we're at, right? With Omicron. We're just getting into all the sorority letters now. Alpha, Delta, Omicron. Gonna infect you with all the happiness in the world. Like, what are we even doing? But, I mean, so when the pandemic first started, I was at home and I started panicking about everything. I was like, listen, here's what's in my brain, I'm like, this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna infect people. They're gonna turn into zombies. That is the natural order of things. And then the zombies are going to come to my apartment in Somerville. They are going to smash through the sliding glass door. They are not going to come in any other way, only the sliding glass door. And they're gonna try and eat my cat. And they're not gonna eat me, I'm vegan. They don't want vegetables, I know what they're after. She's a carnivore, they're gonna go for her first. So I was like, I gotta protect myself, right? I gotta start working out. Gyms are closed, I can't lift weights or anything, no. Right, so started thinking about where to turn. And a lot of people my age, the first place we go is Instagram, right? And I started looking at some of the influencers. And I realized I can't do an influencer workout because there's always some girl standing there in neutrals, but she doesn't talk. It's just some like weird robotic voice telling me to do a plank for a minute and a half, like I'm an Olympic athlete. Or like, and there's always like weird drone shots of California because apparently you can't get abs anywhere except Southern California. They're only allowed there. So I turned to the classics. I started looking up Jane Fonda. Oh yeah, baby. And I fell in love. First of all, I love Jane Fonda because she's just openly nuts, right? I love people like that. But I love the fact that like she's just so open about everything. Like you turn on her tape and she's not like, okay, let's get hyped up. She's like, hi, welcome to your living room. Don't trip on the carpet. You know what? Go ahead and put on a bathing suit and giant hoop earrings. I know that you haven't done laundry in a week and a half. Who cares, right? And I appreciate the fact that she knows that my place is carpeted, right? Hasn't been updated since 1995. Like, I'm prepared for a Jane Fonda workout. My favorite part of Jane Fonda, though, is she's always telling you to slow down, right? She's like, slow down, don't get breathless. Just take a break if you need it. And as an asthmatic, that's the kind of support I need. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening to my shtick about being nuts. I have changed absolutely no one's mind in this room about gluten allergies. I know that everyone here still thinks they are fake, except me. You might believe in them now.
Amen.
Okay, all right. Yeah.